going to do a third party situation reading. See what is going on, what the divine wants and needs you to know regarding this third party situation that you find yourself in. Just some information, guidance on how to best navigate it. So let's see. Divine may have some cards for main energy regarding this third party situation a loved one finds themselves in. One more, please. All right. I do hope that all is well. So let's see what we got going on here. So we have indirect communication as avoidance and unhealthy communication. You put aside your own interests for quite some time now. It's time to value your personal choices more. Anxious, you anticipate something that may or may not happen. It's overriding your thoughts, leading to physical symptoms of rapid heart rate and breathing. Feel your pulse, bring it down to a natural slow rhythm. And care and compassion comes internally and naturally. Why do you need to justify that you are? Okay. Well, this is a complicated situation, and it feels like one that's been ongoing for quite a bit of time. Just from the cards describing this energy, this third party situation that you find yourself in is one that has come about through different habits. So you may have always had an off again, on again relationship with this person for the in terms of the majority of the relationship or the connection that you two have had together. You haven't really ever been committed to anyone fully but them. You may have had other people that you've dealt with, but you've always kept the door open for this person and vice versa. There's something that creates this long-standing bond or loyalty between you guys in some kind of way. I'm hearing traumatic, but not necessarily like it was just something where there was some type of sadness is how you guys ended up bonding with each other initially, and that's why it stayed so long. It's a different type of trust, a different type of loyalty that you guys have with one another. You probably were with each other at one of your lowest points emotionally, or otherwise, and so there is this, in a way, sort of blind trust between you two. And that's what allows the shenanigans to take place, hence this third party situation that's going on between you two. This card here, the care and compassion comes internally and naturally. Why do you need to justify that you are? Someone here is a little bit more giving and resilient to certain types of pain, or accepting of certain type, or more tolerant of certain types of behavior here, which allows the other person to kind of like stay the same. Really doesn't make them try to get better at anything. They kind of just can do whatever they want to do. But it works both ways, because the person who is a little bit more lenient towards the other person also gets a certain type of leeway too. So this relationship is not necessarily toxic in terms of you all treating each other badly, but it is unhealthy and constantly creating a space for you all to kind of not take yourselves seriously enough to get some sugar honey iced tea in order. So this is what the divine is here to talk to you about. Like, it's been going on, the energy of it's been going on long enough. This little playground that you guys have created, it's time to move on, and recess has been over. And what are you guys going to do about it? All right, so deep breath, darling. Open mind, open heart. Let's see what the divine wants and needs you to know. Get some more details out here regarding this third party situation. 10 best cards, please, divine. All right, let's see. So this Queen of Wands starting off things in the reverse. There is a tenderheartedness here. An unwilling to accept, an unwillingness to accept the defeat. And so being very angry about things and keeping things going, even though the connection is no longer healthy for either party, which was just discussed. The Queen of Wands being here in reverse with the Five of Pentacles, Five of Discs upright, and then Justice card here. I mean, the Five of Discs is about, well, in this is their elements deck too, so it's destitution. But that is the nature of the relationship. It is one where there's nothing really there except for the fact that you two know each other well enough to kind of deal with each other when nothing else is going on. And that's on, but that energy is on both sides of things. Right now, someone is wanting to move on. More than likely it's you, because there's the energy here of the Justice, the Hermit, and these are big, big intentions, right? You want to do what is fair and what is just for both you and the person involved. And you're in the Hermit space of where you want to go inward and really examine yourself and really ask yourself, is this what you want for yourself in your life? And this is on the type of connections that you see yourself building and having from this point forward. Like, you realize just as much as this could be termed as like, oh, this person is dead weight, they're holding you back, etc., etc. You can be seen as that in their life too, because you're both holding place for this relationship. It's just been around. You've been around each other for so long. This relationship has been around so long. It's withstood so much, but at the same time, there's not a lot of maintenance going on. It's like having a piece of property, and yeah, it's still standing after all these years, but it's not in good condition. You're going to find the wood is rotting away, the roof is in horrible condition, the plumbing and everything, nothing's been maintained with the property. So yes, the house is still there, but it's not livable. And that's what's really going on with this relationship. Like, you just don't pour anything into it, and it's therefore into each other. You're not really concerned with how the other's doing, no more so than when you want to deal with them for a specific reason. And for you, setting intention for yourself here with this Justice and Hermit, that creating a good life and lifestyle for yourself begins with creating good karma where you can. And one of the things to do is if you have any relationships that are not serving a purpose on either side, one of the best things you can do is let it go so that you don't create this opportunity for bad karma to spread on either side, because this person could then become mad at you and resentful towards you, which creates bad energy, and bad energy creates the bad karma for them as well as for you. And it's we could just be peaceful and let this thing go, with the King of Swords being in reverse as well. I feel like that represents you in terms of mastermind energy of really, really angry about how long this has been going on and why you've let it go on so long, but you realize that the anger the fault is really with yourself. And it's more just disappointment and irritation with not being able to be strong enough at that point to just close the door. This person, you both have a way of tapping into each other in a certain space, and you can get each other to do what the other wants. Because again, you've been around each other for so long. The Ten of Swords here, though, is another point to say mentally, you're really done with this Queen of Wands energy in reverse. Person could be a fire sign, or at least in fire energy right now. And you're really tired of dealing with certain types of tantrums or attitudes this person is giving to you. Their attitude as of late has become really, really a bummer, really a downer. They're very antagonistic about every little thing, and they can't talk straight. I think that was an indirect communication is avoidance. So they're not able to articulate themselves well enough in the simplest form to just say, hey, I miss you and I want to spend time with you. But it becomes every little thing around that and bringing up every little thing from the past of where you failed or you didn't come through or you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And it becomes this wholly unpleasant situation and very heavy. And considering that the two of you have not been in a relationship for a very long time or anything that could be considered as a relationship, it's doubly heavy. It has extra weight because it really shouldn't be there in the first place. So there's some type of anger that's being held on to, but yet won't be talked about. Whether even if you ask them directly, like, what is the problem, what's going on, they may feel like, due to the fact that the relationship has not been a relationship in a very long time, it's been about convenience. While it's still about care, and you're not horrible to each other, it's just been a situation of convenience. And they may be feeling some type of way that is how the relationship has deteriorated. And they don't know how to say, I'm sad that things have gone this way, and I really do miss us and how we used to hang out and be really close to each other, but it just seems like we can't get back to that place. Or they may be sensing that you have taken a turn and don't want to go. You just want to go backwards or make any types of parallel, like, no, you just want to go straight forward and let this be the end of it. Okay, and that's clarified with the Two of Discs in reverse and the Eight of Cups in reverse. Especially under the Justice here. And the Two of Discs in reverse is, there's no need to find balance within yourself. Like, the only thing that was really you've been feeling bad about is the only thing that you can find in your space and how you're thinking about things to be at peace with everything is to just completely be done with it. Like, you've tried every scenario maybe to run it back in your mind or your thoughts of how you could possibly not necessarily completely do away with this person in terms of any interaction, but where you are and where you're going and what you want for your life, this person just doesn't fit. You can't find a place for them. It's either they are, maybe they're very talented, very smart in terms of business and their career and everything else, and that's great. When it comes to their personal choices, integrity, attitude, their ability to think objectively, and they may have too much possessiveness or ownership with you, like this unreal something about the way that they treat you in public or with others in terms of like a possessiveness that's not correct. It's just, you can't seem to find a place where this person could fit and you all could truly, become friends and friendly. Not every day hanging out, not like that, but friendly, right? But you just can't, no matter what you try to do to put yourselves on that path, it always ends up some type of blockage is going to happen. So with this Eight of Cups in reverse is where you're not going to turn around or change how you feel about what you feel will be justice for you and for them. Even though it's going to be painful here. The Knight of Swords or Prince of Swords is here clarifying the Hermit card, where there does need to be a discussion and you do need to have a conversation with this person about how things are changing for you and what you want to do moving forward about this. The energy from this person strikes me as the type of person that needs to be told. Some people, closure is just, we stop talking. That's it. It wasn't, there was no blow up. There was no sideways, up, down, nothing, up, down, all around, nothing going on. We kind of just fell out of touch. Always good, but good people though. You know what I mean? No, this is not that. This person is the type that's going to need a conversation. So let's get some more information, because this Nine of Wands is in reverse with this King of Swords in reverse. I don't think that's something that you necessarily want to do. Queen of Discs. Hangman in reverse, Death in reverse. Yeah. So the energy of the possessiveness is here. This person is either somehow, some way you all are connected with children. Now, the third party interference doesn't necessarily have to be about romance. It can also be about family, and I did get that energy of a parent, which this energy would be clear as a parent too. Like an overbearing parent, or a parent that you grew up with this, you grew up in this person's household, but it was not at all normal. And the relationship thereby is not normal. And now you're at a place of where you can really set the terms and tone of how you want to move forward with this parent. But there are things that with this Hangman in reverse and the Death card in reverse, this parental figure or this person in who you have children with, potentially, or connected in children some kind of way, they are wanting potentially to bring in that connection as some type of, almost like a Hail Mary pass, as to say, you can't just walk out of my life. What about these little ones? Which for some of you is a fair conversation. And so I believe that's the difference. For those of you all where this is going to need to actually be a conversation that has to happen and something has to be arranged, I believe that's where this is where the divine is bringing this up for you to really consider that and think about that, of how to bring about the least amount of change or disruption to any children that are involved with this connection. Okay. And to, if you can, sit down and have a conversation with the children directly about what's actually happening, so they hear it from your mouth and they feel it from you. If that's possible, then, by all means, that's a suggestion to do that. Because kids they're old enough to understand. They really are. And if someone's going to tell you a story, let it be you. Not saying that's going to be easy. That's not going to, it depends on the situation. It's probably not going to be easy to do that. But if it is required, it needs to be done. It's best that it be done. Okay. So this Prince of Swords and this Five of Cups in reverse and Prince of Cups in reverse. Yeah, to clarify, this Prince of Swords and this Nine of Wands in reverse. Disappointment in reverse. I believe it's going to be about how this person is going to take what you tell them. And I don't think this is going to be a situation where it's going to be just one conversation. But they're not going to have any choice but to listen to you in order to create a peaceful space for it. This Prince of Cups in reverse is to remember to keep your emotions, be empathetic and be positive regarding the changes that are going to occur, and expect that this person may withdraw. They may pull back. They may say some things that are not kind, and are downright hurtful. But that is just their disappointment talking. When things end that were once really great or have meant a lot, there's gonna be a little bit of fighting back first, and it's gonna be painful. But if you can remember that and do your best to manage yourself while that's happening, should it occur, and if, to expect it, not to be shocked or surprised by it, because again, it's very powerful emotions going on here. Again, it feels like this connection came together in a very sad or traumatic time. And that's how the bond was built. So it's fragile, but it's strong, but it's fragile too. So let's see. Strategy guidance moving forward. Two more cards, Divine. Okay. There'll be a simmering period, because this is definitely not going to be one of those things. It's like one conversation, one and done. But there'll be a simmering period from this other person, because they have to go through the shock of you actually saying what you mean and meaning what you say at this point. Because maybe you guys have made that conversation like, I'm done with you, I'm done. Like you say it like, don't ever talk to me again, blah, blah, blah. And then you're talking to each other again. But this time it's very different for you and how you're approaching them about it. Because it looks like it's been breaking down over some time. And this is where it's like, okay, now it's time to have this real conversation about this is how it's going to go on your side of things. So the Empress leading is beautiful energy to see, because that is going to be about compassion. It is going to be about empathy. It is going to be about understanding, temperance, and finding the middle ground. And, not trying to hurt this person, because you're going to be sad too. But you do want to lead this in a space of nurturing and love, to say this is really about doing what's best for both of us. Like, this is really coming from a place of love, because like we just not happy, we not cool, you know what I mean? Like right now it's like, no. The Hierophant here is about a recommitment. The divine is asking you for to really commit yourself to this change that you said you wanted to make for yourself personally. And that's starting with the people that you keep around you, your circle. And this person is a part of that list that has to be released and let go of. Not thrown out, not discarded, not thrown away, just released and let go of. Okay. Once the commitment is made and revisited, and then, the recommitment happens, things are going to move forward quite rapidly, and there's going to be Five of Wands energy here, some conflict coming your way because of this change that you've made with this person. Once the ripple effect begins to happen, other people are beginning to know about this connection coming to an end. There are going to be people that are going to come around that are going to want to talk to you about why you chose to end things, and put in their 2 cents. But let's see, Five of Wands, more information here with this Eight of Wands and Five of Wands, please. 2 of Cups. Okay. Ultimately, what's going to come out of it is a balanced union. So, or rebalancing of the union between you and the person that's really important to you. Because remember, this third party person is who we've been talking about. So this is the person that has they're the weak link in this chain, and you moved on. And so this energy is now hanging in the balance of what you need to do in regards of getting boundaries clearly drawn, if this is family or anything else, and if this is a past lover, of finally cutting the cord and letting this person know that no, moving forward, nothing is going to be hanging out with me in this relationship that I'm in currently. I want no temptations, no connections. The past is over and done with, and we're through, and this is why. So this is what the third party energy is about. You have someone that you're really moving forward with, that you want everyone to take seriously. And so these third party people need to get it together and get it in line, get their attitude together, and start learning how to share you in a proper and positive way. Or they're going to understand and have to find a place of where they're either going to behave themselves when they're in the presence of your partner, or they'll find themselves, well, not in the presence of the partner. If this is on the romantic side, this is a relationship that you're now seriously and exclusively dating someone else. And so this relationship has always been like just kind of floating in the floating in space. And now it's time to really give it a destination, which is out of your life to go to. And so that's what you're doing here, so that this Two of Cups, so this union can come together, and you can fully focus on it and have your full attention there, is what the divine is asking, if you want that to succeed. And prepare for a little bit of challenge, because the people who are not aware that things were going in this direction are going to have some things to say. But that's fine. You'll be able to handle it. Okay? All right. So that is the session. I hope it is of help to you, dear. I appreciate you, and do remember that back then is not now. Always be in harmony with your surroundings. Stay sucker free. Hope to see you again.